hello, all. You are up front with Frank Rothstein on Sky's Crescent Radio.com. SKYES, CrescentRadio.com. Wait, I'm waiting for the echoes to settle down on the other end because I'm really talking to myself here. At least that's what it sounds like. How is everyone this week? I just broke the fast with my family. Yom Kippur just passed. Happy New Year, everybody. The year is 5781 on the Jewish calendar. And we feasted with the usual, what we call dairy, sturgeon, white fish salads, all kinds of stuff like that, smoked fish. Heaven on a bagel. Sitting with me on the other end on a tri-state cloudy day is Jade Zavrick. And I'm really getting a good echo of myself here. Wow, this is interesting. Let me talk to you while talking to myself. I'm good for it. It's always fun on pseudo technology. I love it. What is going on in the world today? Let me see. Well, what I always knew would happen has happened. Two of the NFL teams are reporting COVID-19 disruptions. Yeah, people are testing positive. The Tennessee Titans and the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, Tennessee Titans had positive cases, and that forces the Minnesota Vikings also to suspend in-person, what they call in-person activity, which means no practice, no nothing, no locker room, no nothing. It's going to spread because the way it goes. The only people I know that are really probably most protected would be hockey players because they have the plastic panel in front of their mask, almost like a scuba mask. Other than that, it's just dangerous out there. Yeah, well, what can I say? If this was unexpected, if anyone's surprised, you are foolish. This was inevitable. But what can we do, right? It's going to happen. And, right, let me get rid of that story. Let me get rid of this story. And, well, actually, inevitable to happen is there are 21 states now with a little bit of a spike in cases. In Brooklyn, the mayor has threatened to shut down parts of Brooklyn again because cases are popping up. And that's in the Brooklyn areas I grew up in. Let me find it. I'll get the article quickly because this is annoying. Right? Where they put them? Well, it's places like Borough Park, Sheepshead Bay, Brighton Beach, and areas along that line. It's just that's what happens. That is, people are out and about, kids are back to school. Everything is just, let me get the exact list. Because it's sort of sad. People are trying to get back on their case, back on their cases, get their businesses going. And, it's not surprising that there's been another little bit of rise in cases. But you don't want it to get worse, obviously. And let me see if I can find the list. This is de Blasio, Mayor de Blasio threatening to shut down some of the areas again. My computer, of course, wants to give me a hard time. Why, I don't know. I'm a nice guy. I'll just blame Jade for it. Here, where's my list? Here it is. Gravesend Bay, Homecrest, Midwood, Borough Park, Bensonhurst, Mapleton, Flatlands, Midwood, Garrison Beach, Homecrest, Sheepshead Bay, Edgemere, Far Rockaway, Kew Gardens Hills, Pomanock, Rigo Park, Kensington, Windsor, Terrace, Brighton Beach, Manhattan Beach, Sheepshead Bay. That's a lot of territory in Brooklyn and Queens. It really is. But that is what's going on. That is unfortunately what's going on. Anyway, wanted to make mention of all that because before I get to all the good juicy stuff. Hey, remember last week I mentioned about the guy who was bringing home body parts of some ex-girlfriend in bags to his family? Well, no, it's not just the guys who do this kind of crazy stuff. This is, right? You hear me thumping again with my computer. There it is. It says lesbian lovers allegedly killed and dismembered man to steal his inheritance. It says a pair of Portuguese lesbian lovers, which, okay, inspired by the Showtime serial killer TV series Dexter, allegedly killed and hacked up a man, chopping off his fingers to access his bank account to steal more than $77,000 U.S. inheritance. Maria Malverio, 19, and her girlfriend Mariana Fonseca, 23, who is a nurse, are accused of murdering Diogo Gonçalves, who's 21, and a hotel worker in Portugal earlier this year. Let me keep reading this. The grisly details about his killing emerged as prosecutors get ready to put Malverio, and Fonseca on trial. Let's see. They strangled him, and the two women cut off his fingers to gain access to his bank account from his cell phone. Now, what you're saying, why would he need to cut off his fingers? Well, there are two reasons. One is they have his fingerprints on them, so even though the man's dead, his fingerprints are still there, and the phone would recognize it. And B, they didn't just want to sit next to him and use his hand to access, so they had to cut the guy up. Either way, they're on trial. They're going to go to jail, and it doesn't say if they got some money in there. I'm not claiming to say. Investigators say he was strangled and marked. The girls cut off his fingers to gain access to his bank account from his cell phone, using his prints to swipe the cash. That's according to the Sun, citing Portuguese media. Okay. Women allegedly dismembered Gonçalves and kept his head, forearms, hands, and feet for 5 days after murdering and tossing his torso into the sea. Didn't I see this on The Sopranos? They later threw the rest of his body parts into the sea from the cliffs. Wow. Why would they keep his head? Oh, wait. Was there a reason maybe for like retina scans? Okay. Kept his arms, his forearms, his hands, his feet. Prints, maybe? I don't know. Okay, either way, we got two sick girls who killed a guy and tried to steal his money. Pretty much that's what it comes down to. Money. There you go. All this for money. Well, I don't know what Portuguese prisons are like. I'm sure they'll find out soon. Yeehaw, yeehaw, yeehaw. It is 5:10. Why do I keep telling time? It gives me taste. That's why. It gives me a reason to keep track of myself. I'm looking at the New York Post because I like that site. It's so convenient for me to pick up everyone's news stories. And this one comes from, I think, Canada. A video shows a creepy robot dog patrolling the streets at night in Canada. And this, from a distance, would look like a dog. It is a flat top with 4 legs, shaped like dog's legs in terms of where the joints would be, the elbows, the knees, so on and so on. The robot dog patrolling the street at night has freaked out Twitter. A mechanical canine named Spot by maker Boston Dynamics got the attention of a Twitter account with his weird walk down the sidewalk in northern Ontario, Canada. Well, I'm sorry that Twitter went wild and they were freaked out. And it got 15,000 comments. Pretty much this, I guess, I'm not quite sure. It doesn't really quite go into what he's patrolling for. It says he's a hardwired hound. He could run, jump, open, lock doors. Sells for about $75,000 right now. And he is patrolling in New Zealand and a handful of other specially enforced places, for distancing. He patrols, he gets involved and all that. Pretty much he's a robotic little dog cop. I say give him a little cute face and a better name than Spot, and that'll work out fine. And I think we're going to play a song. Notice what a good mood I'm in with all this crap going on in the world. Which is why I'm going back to 1957 and Big Joe Turner, Feeling Happy. There you go. That was
Writing's
Big
not that
Joe
easy.
Turner. And I'm looking at the news, and it seems that New Year's Eve in Times Square has been canceled. The ball will drop just without us being there. And I was talking to a few people and reading some of the reactions, which is a lot of people are unhappy, but I think it's a good thing. Because let's face it, you're out there, they have you standing in like a corral, like horses. You can't leave. If you leave to go to the bathroom, you can't get back in. A lot of people are standing there for like 8 hours, and it's freezing or it's raining, and everyone's on top of each other. And when you leave, a lot of people get back into the subway, into a crowded train. So this is like the perfect way to stop the spread of COVID on December 31st, which is don't have people in Times Square. Let the ball drop. It'll land on top of the building like it does every year. We just won't be there. They could Zoom it all over the place, but that's what's going to happen. And I think good for the city. Personally, I've never gone to this thing because I don't want to stand in a box. I don't want to stand there for 8 hours. Got to be easier on guys, though, I guess, because if we have to go to the bathroom, well, I don't need to be a little bit lewd, but, we have a little bit easier. What else is going on? Oh, man. Well, we all know that tonight starts the debates. All we're hearing about is Donald Trump's taxes, Joe Biden's son. I don't care about Joe Biden's son. I don't care about Donald Trump's taxes. Matter of fact, I'm sorry the guy's not paying taxes like he should. But if you want to really blame someone, blame Congress for helping to create the loopholes that he was able to jump into. Blame the Internal Revenue. If there weren't these options, he wouldn't be able to do it. Because he's not the first supposed billionaire or rich guy not to pay taxes. Plenty of them don't. I suppose it was Amazon a couple of years ago that we're talking about. Maybe. I have to look it up. The church does not pay taxes. Damn, the church. Damn in the church. If the church would pay taxes, there'd be no more deficits. It would dwarf the number that everyone thinks Donald Trump owns. Yes, let's tax the church. Then let's tax Donald Trump. I really don't, but I can laugh about a lot of things in this manner because I laugh at a lot of things. But if you're one of those people who are voting for him, who swear by the guy, who never mentioned his name except that he was on Channel 4 once a week or NBC once a week, depending on your city. If you never gave a crap about him before his election and you swear by everything he does, remember, you're paying more taxes every year. If you're wondering how to make a bill If your if your tax number is coming due and you got to write that check and you have to weigh what doesn't get paid this month because you have to pay taxes instead, and the person you're swearing by doesn't pay a dime, just remember, I would never tell anybody who to vote for. Just keep an open mind about everybody you support. There is not one person in any field of endeavor that if you support them, if you're a fan of them, if however you view this person, they are not saints. They are not saints. It's just the way it is. Even if this president did everything great for America, he's not a saint. I promise you, if I go to his house at night, you're not going to like something that he does. If you sit there with him, he's going to do something that you don't like everybody else. So in this case, we are now talking about his taxes, which we've been talking about now for 5 years, 6 years. Oh, well. And we'll get some good entertainment in the debates tonight because at least I get entertainment. It's better than sports. That's why I love election night. Much better. I wish it was on ESPN. We can get some good voices, some good play-by-play guys going. At least that's what I think. It's 5:20. Oh, man. Should I play another song? Yeah, why not? Why not? I'm covering my stories real fast tonight. I'm going to go back. Well, actually, I'm not even going back. They just did it the other night on, what was it, on The Tonight Show? But I am going back to a 1980 song that was number one in the UK. It was released in the UK for sure in 1980. This is the Go-Go's, We Got the Beat. That was the Go-Go's. Wow, I grew up with that song. I grew up with the Go-Go's. Not bad. That's not bad to say that. I grew up with a lot of bands, and they're still around. A lot of acts today just fall off. They come around, they make one or two songs, they're done. But there are certain acts that just keep coming back because they're good. All right. Let's see who I can get in trouble with today. Let me see. What did I call this again? Oh, yeah. This is a story of someone who suffers from, where did I put it? Let me get I want to get this right because, God forbid you get something wrong. ICS. This is someone I say is suffering from ICS, Identification Convenience Syndrome. What is that? That is when you want to be respected and loved because you identify as one or another, whether a man or a woman. And, well, things change. So it says, pregnant transgender man reveals he stopped taking his hormone therapy to conceive his husband's baby and is now a seahorse dad expecting their first child. It says, well, we go. Bennett Casper Williams, 36, lives in California with Malik Casper Williams, 39. And let me get to the, how much with this newspaper is. It keeps on putting ads and it jumps all over the place. This story came out just the other day. It says he began hormone treatment in 2014 and met his husband Malik, an interior designer, in 2017. By the way, Bennett is a lawyer. The couple who live in Los Angeles decided to start a family, so Bennett, who has had surgery on the top half of his body, but not on his genitalia, put a hold on the hormone treatment. He fell pregnant, and the couple are now expecting their baby later this year. Bennett describes himself as a seahorse dad and a nod to the animal whose males carry a baby. That's nice. That's a cute little name. We'll get you a little costume and little pajamas like a seahorse, a little horsey. But really, and even though Bennett looks like a guy, beard, cut the hair short, little buzz, beard, better beard than I have. I don't have a good beard, by the way. That's why I save a fortune in razor blades. And Bennett's got the belly. I hate to burst bubbles here, but there is no such gender as a seahorse. You were born male. You were born female. You want to be respected because you identify as male. Okay, but you're having a baby. You're not a seahorse dad. You're a mother, and that's what Bennett is. Bennett's going to be Bennett's going to be a mom. So I guess we have to shift. We have to shift the respect levels. We have to shift the love. We have to do all this stuff. And they're going to have a baby. Hopefully it's a good baby and a healthy baby and all that. And then we can start calling mom dad again. And yes, a seahorse dad refers to males being the one to give birth in the seahorses. Okay. He's due November 5th and is recording his pregnancy on Instagram. Yes, social media. And this is what's going on. This is it. So, yeah, well, good luck explaining this to the kid down the road. But anyway, that is what's going on, and far be it for me not to touch on a story like this. I search for stories like this. Talking about the president and debates, that's boring to me. Stuff like this, I can have a lot of fun talking about this for a while. At least one of them has a Yankee cap. There's a baseball fan in the family. Yeah. Okay, so dad is now a mom-to-be who is soon going to be a dad-to-be. No, you are not a seahorse, and that's just the end of it. Next story. Do I even have stories to read? Wow, I'm running out of good stuff today. It's 5:27. It's 5:27. Look what is going on here. Once again, I have posted a picture on my Facebook page of one of the most beautiful actresses ever, Hedy Lamarr, who is one of my favorites, not because of her fantastic acting ability, which was pretty good, or her beauty, which was incredible, but she is one of the two people, along with her then creative partner, George Enfield, and they created the sliding frequency scale system to detect missiles during wartime. And that system, which she never got the patents on, the United States never granted her the patent. She never made a dime on it. But that plan, that technology that she created, that she designed, became what we know as Wi-Fi. So when you're sitting at the Starbucks or any other place that has free Wi-Fi, when you're sitting home with your computer, when you're sitting home using free signals because you don't want to go into your data plan, no matter what it is, everyone uses Wi-Fi, your computer, your television, everyone uses frequencies, all different frequencies. And everyone can thank Hedy Lamarr and George Antheil for creating this before World War II. Yeah, that's just what I got to say on that subject. And I do mention it every now and then on the show because why not? She deserves it. They deserve it, and it should be noted. Especially at a time when everyone's always talking about historical figures, whether they're female or they're black or they're Spanish or they're this or from anywhere else in the world or any other situation. And nobody has a good example of why. This is a perfect example of why. When you're saying that women are great, women are genius, women, use Hedy Lamarr as an example. This came off of CNN. The New York town of Swastika votes to keep its name. This came from September 23rd and just decided to keep it. It's a small town in upstate New York. I never heard of it. Voted to keep the name of swastika, saying that the town founders named it after the Sanskrit word and not the hate symbol associated with the Nazis. Well, the Sanskrit word pretty much means well-being. It was really an emblem long before the Nazis came into power. It goes back to the 1800s. And yeah, that's what it means, well-being, which means well-being, good health, good life, whatever. Put any two words you want together that describes that sentiment. And that is what the original meaning of a swastika was. It was a Sanskrit symbol. And then, well, we all know the story after that. Somebody else had an idea. Good thing they didn't use a circle instead. You'd never be drawing zeros again. Yeah, but there are people who wanted the name change, but they decided to leave it. I understand why some people would be against the name, but it's been there since the 1800s, so I guess. In 2019, a Colorado town just outside of Denver voted to change its name from Swastika Acres to Old Cherry Hills. Fair enough. Fair enough. The area had once been home to the Denver Land Swastika Company, a company that chose its name long before the Nazis. And yeah, it's an unfortunate situation that some companies, some towns have to deal with, but it is, as much as I do not like this phrase, it is what it is. Size 31. Oh my, it's one of those days. So I bought a mask off of the Broadway Relief Project, BroadwayReliefProject.com. And they created masks for stage performance. Pretty much as people on Broadway, all the actors, they're looking to make money any way they can. And they created a mask, which is called the singer's mask, instrumentalist mask, clear front mask. Because I had nothing else to do, bought 2 of the singer's masks. It's bigger, is what it is. It's bigger. The front is firm to support the front end as a frame. And for people who have to speak on stage or sing on stage, you get to project your voice better. And that's what this was designed for. And because of the size of it, and there are microphones that are so small they look like wires, just wires, you could actually run a microphone into the mask, I guess, if you wanted to. Just looks like it. And then you can get full sound on stage. Now, we don't have any theaters to go to yet. The New York Metropolitan Opera House just canceled its 2021 season. But in the future, if you still have to wear a mask while performing, I'm sure somebody will refine this thing. It looks bad. It looks like a big duck bill. If you bend over and look at the floor, it looks like a diaper. I say if you take it off, it could be a good like breakfast cereal bowl. But it's a start, and someone's going to figure out a way to make it look nicer, then put some new designs. Now, the instrumentalist mask, what does that do? It's the same shape, same size, but there's a little bit of a flap in front to put the mouthpiece. Like for a trumpet, a mouthpiece, or like for a clarinet, the reed. It goes right inside. You can play your instrument. Then there's a clear front mask. Now, I remember this clear front mask from earlier this year, and that was created by a girl who realized that people who were hearing impaired, who were deaf, relied on reading lips, but you can't while wearing a mask. And I saw this, I think, in March or April. So she created the mask with a little bit of plastic in the front so you could see someone's mouth. That I thought was pretty ingenious, and I wanted to buy a couple because it was a college kid. But, of course, the second I wrote in, she wrote back saying, thank you for inquiring, but this really became work, and I put up a how-to on YouTube, and I guess someone has the idea and did it for the stage people. It's clear front, so I don't know if you can throw it in the laundry, but you can always clean it. And that's what's going on. These are 23 and change a piece. In volume, there's a discount. And that's what's going on. At least with that. Sort of feels good, and it's going to keep my mouth warm, my face warm in the winter, that's for sure. It's big. It really is big. I mean, I can't sing, but I was able to scream my head off, and I gave a half-assed note or two, so, Well, there were a couple of songs I can sing. I just won't do it for you, because I could really torture people if I sing a song. You really don't want to hear me singing On the Road Again, or you make me feel like dancing. And that could be scary. But that's what I noticed. Let's play a song. Why not? I promise I won't sing it with the artist. I promise. This is really, this is a cover of the 1962 hit by Brenda Lee. This was done by Juice Newton on her album Quiet Lies from 1982. The song is Break It to Me Gently.
Let me down.
That was Juice Newton. I grew up listening to her also. I grew up listening to a lot of people sing. I miss some of the acts. Some of them just people just gave up, retired, died. But either way, some of the music I still stand up well. Well, look at this. I'm on the CNN website looking for random stories as I go along, so I have no idea what's inside of them as I pull them up. Nordstrom will no longer sell fur and exotic animal skins. And that says they're teaming up with the Humane Society in a commitment to ban real fur and exotic animal skins in its stores and online. But the change won't take effect until the end of 2021. Okay, fair enough. That move will make Nordstrom the first U.S.-based retailer to ban exotic animal skins. And that's according to Kitty Block, the president and CEO of the Humane Society of the United States. All right, good for Nordstrom. Good for Nordstrom. So we'll have fake fur, fake leather. Maybe somebody will make it look nicer than they used to, and they'll improve on that also. Why not? What the hell? I don't know who's going to stop the people from hunting them in enclosed areas, then posing them for pictures, like the president's sons, but Nordstrom's won't be involved. Well, what else is going on here? Oh my, oh my, oh my. It's just another one of those gray days. As our president has not committed to a peaceful transfer of power. What is that? Peaceful transfer of power? Yeah, a peaceful transfer of power if he loses the election. Now, he hasn't blatantly said, I won't leave. Not that I remember yet, but I mean, I don't know exactly. Peaceful transfer. If you lose the election, I mean, what are you going to do? Stand on the steps and when the judge swears in the incoming president, grab the Bible or whatever other book they use and say, no! President-elect is not going to get updated on all the current security issues or what's going on. No! Find out yourself. Oh, I'm not telling. I mean, like a kid in school. And by the way, if any president refuses to give up his office, refuses to get out on the day that the incoming president is supposed to be sworn in, they can be removed. The FBI, the local sheriff, the Secret Service, any one of them can remove a sitting president who's now becoming a former president. I'll keep it in perspective. But just for everybody who wants to know for sure, here's a good way of thinking of it. As he keeps saying, the ballots are rigged, the ballots are rigged, the ballots are rigged, especially if Joe Biden wins, the ballots are rigged. Well, okay, we're going to take Donald Trump to his words. The ballots are definitely rigged. But what if he wins? The ballots are rigged. The ballots are rigged. So we still have to look into it either way. So just remember that. If the ballots are rigged, we don't know who's going to win or lose yet, but everything is rigged up, and, so I guess it works both ways. Throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. This could work against him. But okay. Oh, man. Some weeks it's just a little more interesting. I do believe, if I was reading today's news right, there's some sort of a fire out in California again. When are we just going to admit to, just let it rain on California for a month? Just get rid of all the fires? Create a lot of mudslides, but I mean, it's enough. I hate to say it, but there's nothing shocking. There's nothing shocking anymore. The Facebook people don't even hit the mark safe. Mark safe in Los Angeles after fire. They don't even care anymore. They don't even care if there's an earthquake. I guess when there's a fire, they can lay in the same bathtub as when there's an earthquake. And there's no such thing as an earthquake-proof house. What does that mean? Well, if the earth opens up and the house falls in, the earth's going to close around it and the house is fine? Do I really believe I'm going to be fine if I stand in a doorway? California's becoming boring. No wonder people are leaving. Actually, a lot of people are going to Tennessee or any of the other states that don't have taxes. I mean, if you go to Nevada, but this has been an old story anyway. Nevada, Florida, and a few of the any of the others. Especially if you're looking to open a business, you go to a state where there's no state taxes. Life is a hell of a lot easier. It really is. It's 5:45. Well, what else is going on in the news today? Brexit is back in the stakes of who cares? They won a couple of years ago. They're still not separated. Who cares? Let England do what it wants. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been laid to rest. Finally, let her rest. Well, the Major League Baseball playoffs start today, and as usual, no matter how many or no matter how many or few games there are in the season, the Mets are dead last. They're not going anywhere. That's really aggravating to me. That's okay. I also have to worry about the Knicks. It's also aggravating to me. It says here that Avatar 3 is almost done filming. Okay. What else do we have? Yeah, we got a lot going on in the world. Some of it is okay, some of it's not. There's an article. Someone's texting me, which I have to get rid of. Let's see. There's an article about what happens to your body after months of isolation, which, if we're not careful, it'll be a year. Yes, you're not breathing in anybody else's spit or sneeze. You're not sucking sneeze. But what happens is you're working from home, you're eating at home. You're not really getting dressed. You're not really moving. I don't know anybody who jogs in the house. And things change. Your body changes. Your muscles atrophy a little bit. You can gain weight, unless you're just not one for eating in general. You can lose weight. But there's a lot. Oh, look at this. My computer froze up again. Son of a... There we go. Samuel, if I started cursing, things would jolt. It's just it changes. Your body is not functioning. We're meant to function. We're meant to move. So since the pandemic officially began in March, we've been told staying home is the best way to avoid catching COVID-19. But life in confinement can cause physical ailments on its own. That's the first paragraph of CNN Health. Being homebound for so long contorts the body, weakens the heart and the lungs, and even impairs brain function. The effects of life in isolation may stay with us beyond the pandemic's end. Well, yeah. Yeah, how could this be good for anybody? Just because you have television, you're still in solitary confinement if you live alone. You start losing muscle, yes. Wait, I haven't smacked my computer in a while. Hold on a second. Your heart and your lungs get weaker because you're not exercising. And I don't mean you're not doing push-ups or crunches. You're just not out there walking around. You're not moving. And, yeah, things happen. Things definitely can happen to people. So even if you're content staying home, which a lot of times I am, get out and move. Get out. If you have a backyard, you don't want to be around people, jog in that. Move around in that. I don't care what you do. Play with the dog. Make the dog play harder. Do something. Read. Don't just watch television. Read. I mean, you don't have to go out and buy a newspaper. Read the news on your favorite internet site. Just read. Make your brain is a muscle. Make it work. Treat it as a muscle. Make it work. What else is going on in the world? Well, it's 5:49. That's what's going on in the world. Let me play another song, and I'll think of a really decent, semi-decent story to read at the end, and then we're gonna go. So next song up, one of my favorite web girls, Robin Adele Anderson, who you normally see in Postmodern Jukebox. She's covering Hall & Oates from 1977. This is Robin with Rich Girl. It was Robin Adele Anderson. I always loved her voice and her style of singing. Yeah, she's excellent on stage. If you've never had a chance and she's appearing live near you, just go check her out. So my last story of the night is something of no importance, but I used to own one, so I'll read about it. African gray parrots in a London wildlife park have been removed because they were cursing people. Says the headline is Parrots in Wildlife Park moved after swearing at visitors. Says the foul-mouthed birds were split up after they launched a number of different expletives as visitors and some staff just days after being donated to Londonshire Wildlife Park in eastern England. It just went ballistic. They were all swearing, the venue's chief executive, Steve Nichols, told CNN Travel. We were all a little concerned about the children. One got called fat. And I'm sure they used a lot of other words because their owners taught them whatever. The African gray parrots named Eric, Jade, Elsie, Tyson, and Billy were given to the park from 5 different owners, within the same week. I thought maybe they were from the same family. No, they came from 5 different people who just curse. Okay. And they shared quarantining facility together before being placed on display. But the staff immediately noticed that the birds shared the propensity to fly off the handle. I had an African gray once in an old office. His name was Jake. African grays are great. One of them, let's see. One of them told someone to off. Okay. Wow, telling someone to off. Okay. It's very easy for them to learn. Need 2 easy words, yes. 2 short words. But the birds would utter anything you can think of. That's right, because African grays are very intelligent, and they mimic you very, very well. If you say it in front of them long enough, they will pick it up perfectly. So I think this is a good story. It's a good way to end the week. Oh, well. What can I say? I thought my African gray, my old friend Jake, had a mumble. How to say his name and how to mumble. I always said, hello, Jake Bird, or yo, Jake Bird. And one day I walk in and he goes, yo, Jake Bird. And then I never liked doing old invoicing on a calculator and adding it up. I really didn't like that. And I always looked at really mumbling myself and I couldn't think doing it. And one day I'm sitting there doing the job. I hear him going, no. And that's what he did. I miss Jake. He's in someone else's office for a lot of years now, but he's a great bird. With that, I'm going to leave you with one more song, one more thought. This, when we hear about everything with equality and everything is racism, everything is this, you hear it in song and you hear it so much with anger. A lot of times. Not every time, but a lot of times. And I found an older song. This is actually done, at least it was released in 1988. This was written by Larry Rogers, Steve Thorgard, and Paul Wells. And, well, the recently deceased Toots and the Maytals, Tootsie, but he died. I told you that. But this was their song. And in 1988, they recorded Freedom Train. Everyone have a good night. Get a laugh where you can. I'll see you next time.
Gonna leave this way.